So if you've gotten this far and watched my previous 2 videos, see the links in the description below, you understand that our entire de facto government is based in fraud and has no legitimate authority over we the people. You see that we need to work to establish a de jure or lawful government from the ground up. You don't want to be reduced to a corporate debt slave and legal fiction, and you've said no to the globalist criminal psychopaths. So, you've gone ahead and done your paperwork to correct your status. Hooray! You've gotten out of the water and onto the land of your freedom. You feel like the walls that were closing in now have shattered, and you feel exhilarated by the possibilities of freedom in the landscape before you. Now you may be asking, what's next? How do I get to the treasure of my freedom and our collective freedom as American people? I want to provide something of a roadmap so that you can understand the lay of the land that is in front of you at this time. The most important thing to understand is that correcting your status and becoming a state national does not solve everything. It's not a parting of the Red Sea. Correcting your status and becoming a state national is the necessary foundation for your freedom, but in and of itself does not extract you from the web of the de facto government. After you correct your status, there are 2 main choices that you have. Number 1 is engage in various projects in order to get yourself out of the webs and traps of the de facto government. Number 2 is engage with the assembly in building up the lawful de jure government so we don't have a future of millions of people spending all their time running around individually with documents and to court trying to extract themselves from the fraud and crime of the de facto government. But maybe you're longing for greater freedom and you're really tired of paying taxes and bills that you should not be paying. This flowchart will show you some of the options that you have. After you do some research and identify your needs, then you can choose 1 or more projects and embark upon them. Be forewarned, there are many different projects that you will need to get involved in if you want to completely extract yourself from the de facto government, and all of them require a certain amount of research and education on your part, and some work and energy and a time commitment that can in some cases be several months. There also is no guarantee of success because, frankly, we cannot predict the behavior of criminals. Remember, we're dealing with a massive fraudulent system that's gone on for 150 years. That they've been engaged in fraud and crime for so long does not allow us to assume that they will respond politely and immediately when we present our lawful case, declaring that we are not subject to their authority or their codes and statutes. Hello, here's my form, Z9278X48I, to get out of my car registration.
Sorry, but that's the wrong form. It's form Z93A78X48J. Yeah, you need to fill it out, and then you need to get it notarized by the Secretary of State. And the Secretary of State office is closed, has been closed for the last year, and will be closed for the next year because of the scamdemic. So, you can't get anything done. You can't get out of your car registration. You can't do anything else because we're going to shut all the government offices and you can't get in. See, we got it all figured out.
So if you're out under the stars at night with a dream to be free, and you'd like to try to find this freedom soon, it could be a good thing for you to understand the variables involved in battles with the de facto government. First, there are multiple projects you would need to take on to extract yourself from the web of the de facto. Second, each of these projects takes time and energy and emotional investment. Third, each of these projects will require research. Unfortunately, there is no convenient step-by-step guide currently available. Again, unfortunately, the people who have the most knowledge and experience on these things generally do not write clear how-to step-by-step articles on the matter. Some of them keep the information in their back pocket as if it were a trade secret. Others charge hundreds of dollars for classes in which they will teach you. Others provide information freely, but often in ways that are not well organized. In other cases, there's more than one way to do the project, and you'll have to use your discernment to decide which you want to do. Next, once you do the research and get the information and start the process, issues may arise where you need assistance. And if by some chance you are calling for help from jail, be forewarned that cavalry may not be able to run in and save you. There can be, in some cases, a significant time investment involved. Some of these processes are not simple and could require weeks or even months. Getting a land patent could take over a year. Also, after investing all this time and energy, success is not guaranteed. The agency that you are dealing with may refuse to be persuaded by your lawful argument and your lawful evidence. So, for instance, you may file all the papers to get out of federal taxes and still get threatening letters from the IRS or the Franchise Tax Board threatening a lien on your property. You may undergo the entire lawful process to get out of a driver's license or car registration, but nevertheless end up ticketed or pulled over by police officers, even possibly arrested and jailed and having your car impounded. It's important that you don't go into all of this with rose-colored glasses. Some people who have not adequately understood the risks have gone full steam ahead and ended up with serious problems. So, it's important to be realistic with eyes wide open about the risks, but on the other hand, don't be completely discouraged because the law is solidly on our side and ultimately we will prevail. If government agencies or officials violate the law, you can sue them for breach of fiduciary duty. And this can be very expensive for them. And if you can get at their public officials' bond, it also may mean that they are never able to work again within the same capacity. In fact, a growing number of people are discovering the power of affidavits and declarations, even if they are not using common law, and even if they have not corrected their status, they're still having great success. For instance, Alphonse Fagiolo or Jeff Weitzman, who explains his approach here.
A lot of people are wondering why there is no justice right now and why elected officials don't seem to be upholding the Constitution. All right, so are they functioning as a corporation? Which, by the way, if you are functioning as a corporation, then you need a contract with the people. And, oh, by the way, you do not have a contract with the people. Your job is to uphold the Constitution. And so what we're doing is we're pulling their pants down and we're saying, you can no longer function as an illegal corporation. We elected you to defend us, the citizens, and uphold the Constitution. And this whole game that you're playing of being a corporate entity and making money, and that's what it's all about, making money. Yeah, we're saying no, that's over. Those days are over. And see, the fraudulent legal system doesn't want to challenge the state because they're all making so much money. If we do strip them of their power with accurate wording in these affidavits, it's game over, right? Because now they have to uphold the Constitution, and if they don't, they're committing treason. And we can easily remove them for committing treason.
So you should be prepared for some obstacles and setbacks, but strongly encouraged in your pursuit of freedom, both for yourself and for all of us. And as some have pointed out, the more of us who get involved in these battles with the de facto to extract ourselves from its clutches, the more leverage we will collectively have over it. As more people become aware of what a de jure government is, we expect many people from the de facto government to join us. We already have many police officers joining the assembly. These battles with the de facto are not for everyone. However, have you noticed? It's 1776 again, and we're rebuilding the whole country. Why not join us in this effort?
The American experiment begins with my friends all scattered to the winds. Lawrence is in South Carolina, redefining bravery. We'll never be free until we end slavery. When we finally drive the British away, Lafayette is there waiting in Chesapeake Bay.
The American State Assembly and the team behind it has worked for several decades to get us to where we are now and paved the way with lawful actions and notices. For instance, Anna's public international notice to vacate. Now, some of you may rightly wonder how a very puny organization, such as the Assembly is at this moment, could possibly think to challenge the authority of a massive and powerful de facto government, which by all appearances is connected with a massive and powerful global criminal organization.
Bones and a thirsty soul, dreaming for more than the life I had known. Till I tasted a burning cold, and my guilt was erased, my sin was atoned. Oh, I dare to believe in incredible things. Oh, 'cause you're the God of the impossible.
We are living in a David and Goliath moment, and we are about to see the hand of God in history. This is an epic drama that we are in the midst of, and it is a drama between good and evil. And ironically, the people who we would have expected to be the warriors protecting us have failed, while grandmothers have become heroes.
Suicide rates are to the goddamn moon. Grandmothers are blocking highways in Nova Scotia because none of you have the fucking balls to do it.
This new 1776 moment seems to have a lot of founding mothers.
I have an announcement to make. I'm proud to say my husband and I filled out all of our paperwork to become a state national.
To get involved in your assembly, contact your state and county coordinators. Assess what skills and interests you have and how those may mesh with the needs of the assembly. For instance, would you be interested to become a state recorder, to do networking, to be a scribe, a marshal at arms, a county coordinator, a treasurer? Are you good at office work? Are you good at marketing? Would you be interested in being an officer, either interim or an elected officer? We could definitely use IT volunteers. In addition to the traditional responsibilities of the militia part of the assembly involves health and wellness and disaster preparedness. Are you a healer who has talents to contribute? Or would you just like to hang out with some really fun, freedom-oriented people? So when you go out under the stars at night and dream of freedom, consider joining your dreams with ours. Join the American States Assembly. And working together, we will see success.
Trader Joe's is suddenly mysteriously changing their stance. They're no longer force vaccinating. This is how we change things. Calm calm energy, loving energy, and saying, this is the law. Now, how are you going to accommodate it? And we just keep doing that.
Be on the right side of history, stand up for freedom, and help us take down the globalist crime syndicate and all their crimes against humanity.
We will not bend, we will not break. How dare you touch what God gave? We'll never give and never give up, never back down. We'll never give and never give up, never back down. We'll never give and never give up, never back down. Never surrender. I walk through the valley of the shadow of death. Just keep going, keep on going. Jesus with me every step. Just keep